Welcome everyone to the CNC with Dave show. We've got a great show for you tonight. We've got Mr. Laney Shaughnessy in the house with us tonight. Going to be talking about some digital wood carver stuff and who knows what else. Before we get started chatting with him, we're going to go ahead and go through and do the introductions real quick. We've got pretty much a full panel tonight. And I'm going to start over on my right with Mr. Trevor Carter.
Hey guys, like Dave said, my name is Trevor Carter. I'm from New Brunswick, Canada. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all the fun media stuff under Trevor's Wood Shop. Thanks for having me, Dave.
All right, thanks for being on here tonight, Trevor. Next, we've got Mr. Mursky, which I believe he's still on the road.
Yep. Hey everyone, Mike Mursky Custom Woodworking. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and at a shady motel near you.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight, Mike. Next, we've got Mark.
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Lindsay, and my sleep number is 45. I had to throw that in. It's an inside joke. You can find me on Facebook on Facebook under this name, Mark Lindsay, and here on YouTube, especially down in the comments section. I'm also on Twitter and on Instagram, and I am remembering to post stuff to Instagram. Thank you for having me, Dave.
All right, thanks for being here, Mark. I'm going to skip over our man of the hour here for just a sec and go with Mr. Lopez.
Hi guys, Juan Lopez from Dallas, Texas. You can find me here on YouTube under G-Code One Design, also on Facebook and on Instagram. Thanks for having me, Dave.
All right, Juan, thanks for being here. And Jerry?
I'm Jerry Blakesley. My sleep number is 65. Not that anybody cares, but you can find me just about anywhere on social media and YouTube under Jerry's Machines. Thanks for having me, Dave.
All right, Jerry, thanks for joining us tonight. And next we've got Jerry Brown.
Hey, the other Jerry here from Polly Wants a Crafter. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I do a video on occasion. Thanks for having us.
All right, and the new webcam seems to be working awesome, Jerry.
Very glad.
Thanks. Next we've got old buddy Javi.
Hey, how's it going, Dave? Javier Unzueta here with Javi's Wood Shop. You can find me on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks for being here tonight, Javi. And thanks again for those fatigue mats you sent me. Those things are really making a difference out there in front of that CNC. I really appreciate that. Before we get to my buddy Laney here, I got a few quick announcements I want to run through real quick, and then we'll get right to him. I want to remind everybody that this time next week is the Texas Meetup out there at Fort Worth, Texas. It's going to be at Cooper's Barbecue. I think it starts, I don't know, 2 or 3, something like that. I can't remember what it is, exactly what time it starts. I don't know if I'll be doing a show next week. It'll depend on what kind of internet connection I can get at the Marriott. If it's good enough, I may try to do one. We'll see. But I probably will do a Facebook Live from Cooper's Barbecue, assuming they have some kind of Wi-Fi or something. We'll kind of do one of those real quick and show everybody who showed up out there. So looking forward to that. Also, I put a link in the show description here. Becca has created this thing called, what is it, Gatton World of CNC, and she's put together this map that's just, it's awesome. I mean, take a look at it. There's a link in the description, and she's wanting to add your name and, of course, your city and state. And she's also asked me, she was unable to make it on the panel tonight, but she asked me to ask you all that when you send her your name and where you're from, you know, put what kind of machine you got too, because if you look at that map, she's got different little bubbles or arrows, I guess, for the different kind of machines you have. So that thing is really cool. I appreciate Becca working on that like she has. So, okay, one last thing I gotta give a shout out. I don't know if they're watching tonight. I don't see them over there in the chat, you guys, if you guys that watch my show pretty regularly hear me talk about my buddy Jim, my electrician friend that lives around the corner from me. He cooked a prime rib in his green egg today. He invited me over for dinner tonight, and so I went over there and had dinner with him and his lovely wife Jill. So a big shout out to Jim and Jill. I appreciate. And he even had a little birthday cake for me, which my birthday was Monday, but they did the cake and the whole thing. So that was pretty cool. I think that's. Oh, and I didn't mention too. If you go to that map that Becca made and you can't get in, the password is GarageWorks. I think you can find that on Facebook where she put that. I guess that's all I got. Anybody else got anything before we turn the floor over to Lane?
Just one quick thing, if I may, Dave, and that is to remind the folks about the GarageWorks and Gatton CNC Community Forum. We've got quite a growing membership over there. We're having some good topic discussions over there. And every week I go ahead and I post a small lead into the show that's coming up this weekend and ask you for your questions. And if you post your question over there on the forum, it will go to the top of the question list when the question time comes along. So if you've got a GarageWorks, Gatton CNC, well, actually, I believe, Dave, you said any kind of CNC. But yeah, remember, we're home hobby guys. So, if you're running a big old Haas or something like that, you can come watch. But,
and since you mentioned that, Mark, there is a link to the forum in the show description, too. I think it's right after Laney's link, I believe. And, of course, there's links to Laney and to the Digital Wood Carver website.
And I will be posting them. And I will be posting them in the chat as the night trundles merrily on.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I don't want to blab a whole bunch here because we got a guy here's got a lot to talk about. I think. Let's turn it over to the man who should really need no introduction, but we'll let him give one anyway. Laney, take her away, buddy.
All right, thank you, Dave. Hey everyone, Laney Shaughnessy. Good to see you guys again and gals. And you can, if you're out looking around, I'm still around. I'm on Facebook under Laney Shaughnessy or A Simple Design of Ocala, YouTube, Laney Shaughnessy, Twitter, and any of the Instagrams and things, Wood Jedi. You'll find me Wood_Jedi. But other than that, you'll find me on the road or on the phone or in front of a camera teaching some CNC stuff lately. Wait a minute. You have a YouTube channel? I do. I
gotta tell you, Laney is probably the hardest working guy. Because he goes to all of those shows. And even the Atlanta show, I got to talk to him maybe for like 2 minutes because he's always busy at those shows. So hardworking fellow there.
Well, thank you. Yeah, the Atlanta show in itself was a busy show. It was a good turnout all around, for everything. But the classes and everything were successful, and I didn't get as much time to be able to. You guys were right next to me, in the two booths surrounding our booth, and I still didn't get a chance to really break out and meet and greet like I wanted to. But so I'm glad I get to come on, Dave. Thank you for the invite again. I'm glad to get to come on and talk to y'all a bit.
Yeah, for those of you who may not know, we had Laney on once before. It's been a while, but I knew when I saw that Digital Wood Carver was coming out with another, I guess, a smaller machine. I thought, well, it's time to have him back on here and let him let him tell us all about that. Another, I guess, a smaller machine. I thought, well, it's time to have him back on here and let him. He's got YouTube running. What about that?
Mute it, Michael. Mute it. Ruh-roh. This is only episode 50, folks. We'll get better.
Yeah, we're still learning.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's an exciting year for Digital Wood Carver with the Mini Carver coming out in January. The Mini Carver was our answer to many of people's requests, especially from the shows, you know, when we're out and about, but just from emails and phone calls and everything, where people were looking for a smaller unit because they may not have the space available. So they're looking for a unit with a smaller footprint, but with the same quality and construction and integrity and stuff as the full-size Digital Wood Carver. So the Mini Carver was our answer to that, and it's an awesome little unit, benchtop unit, 18 by 24 cutting area, 4-inch C height, just a phenomenal tool, and it comes already with the Vectric desktop software, the CNC USB controller software. And really nice. It comes standard with a Makita 1.25 horsepower router. I like the Makitas there; they do really well. But it's been popular ever since we first debuted it in Baltimore at the woodworking shows. It's been flying off the shelf. Knock on wood. Can't complain at all about how well it was received.
Okay, well, it looks like a pretty slick little unit. I didn't get a chance at the Atlanta show to really take a look at it, but I've looked at it on the website some. It looks like a pretty quality unit there. I'm not surprised that it's selling well.
Yeah, and we knew from last year's woodworking shows, with the people asking, you know, they wanted to get a unit, but they just didn't pull the trigger on that particular order because of the size. You know, their shops were limited on size. They didn't have the footprint and everything. And we knew when we came back this year with the Mini Carver that those individuals would be back at the shows this year. And literally, that's exactly what happened when they came back, and they came to the booth and was like, whoa. And it was just, it was really well received. And the customers that, have got their Mini Carvers, they're using them. They're liking the heck out of them. And I'm trying to watch my French there, but it's doing well. You know, it's not only is it Burl Tishner, who, you know, Burl's got a good reputation, especially with me in my eyes, from working with Wood-Mizer, being one of the engineers that worked with Wood-Mizer for, over 15 years. He was with them for 25 years, and the integrity and the quality he built into those machines, putting that same quality into his Digital Wood Carvers, and now the Mini Carver, it couldn't be a better time for him, and I'm proud of him. You know, he's doing really well.
Yeah, I see we've got some questions rolling through the chat here, Laney. But before we start with those, I got one I wanted to ask you. When you're at those shows, and you've done a ton of them, what are like 3 of the most common questions you get when you're either doing your classes or like your demonstrations or something like that? I'm just curious of what if there's a theme of questions you get all the time.
Right. Like 3 common, something that you pretty much hear every single time. Yeah, I do. And one of the first and foremost main question, it's rather than being CNC related, it's the software related. How easy is the software to use? I have a lot of people that, believe it or not, in the 21st century, we're still in the 21st thing. Yeah. But they still, a lot of people they're not familiar with computers. They might be the older generation or something, and they're not familiar. So they want to be able to do this, and they want to know, hey, can I bring pictures in? How does this work? So that's my number one question is, can I do this? And yes, you can, especially with the Vectric software. And I'm not affiliated, other than we provide Vectric with our machines. I'm not affiliated with them in any way as anything, but I will hands down recommend them day and night over and over again, because the way they built their platform, their user friendliness, the power of their product, and with their tutorials and stuff. And with that, and then with the customer service that we give at Digital Wood Carver, everyone has an absolute strong chance of, making, their visions become reality on a CNC machine. but that's our number one question is, can I do this? How hard is it? Number two question I get, Dave, is a lot of the machines and everything are, flash drive. You don't have to have a computer hooked to it. You just design and all. And do I have to have a computer hooked to it? Because a lot of people are scared about getting sawdust on their computer and things. And I know these are minor, and they're probably not in the area that you want to talk about. I'm just trying to give you my top 3 questions that I get. But I feel that having a computer hooked to the CNC machine with whether you're using Mach 3 or CNC USB controller, having that interface to be able to control your starting, stopping, your jogging and things, rather than a flash drive. If you mess up or something, you have to start over, go back to your other computer and come back. It's there's a lot of back and forth. I like having the computer attached. But I don't know if there's a third one that I can think off the top of my head. The third one is timing belts versus lead screws. Timing belts versus lead screws. And our Digital Wood Carver has timing belts. Our Mini Carver has lead screws. Why did we go for this and that? And they are looking at other units that have timing belts that maybe their belts aren't firm enough or something, and issues and stuff, and we're going to have issues with that. And explaining to them the reasoning for timing belts versus lead screws. That's my third answer. And if you guys are curious, I'll let you know why we use timing belts on one, lead screws on another. Okay,
so you use lead screws on the Mini Carver?
The Mini Carver is 8mm lead screws. We have anti-backlash nuts and everything, but all 3 axes, X, Y, and Z, are lead screws. And the X and Y 8mm lead screws, and then our Z is our standard size, the same. And I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know what the size of it is. With our Digital Wood Carver, we have a lead screw on the Z axis, but timing belts, XY precision timing belts on the X and Y. And the reason for the timing belts is, one, you don't have to lubricate them and dust buildup. That's kind of one of the main things. But also, we can you've got a lot better smoothness. You've got those belts can handle a tension of up to 300 pounds of force. So for the X and Y, with the horsepower that we're running, you just have a lot smoother action than you do with a lead screw. For the smaller unit, the Mini Carver, we don't have as high of a horsepower. It's a 24-volt system and everything, so the lead screws are perfect for that. And we don't have, we can achieve that same smoothness in our smaller unit, but in our larger unit, we would either have to go to a bigger lead screw. We couldn't use an 8mm. We'd have to go with a bigger one, and then that's going to increase our cost. And we are trying to become the most affordable CNC machine. Keep our costs low to the customer, not to us, but to the customer. We want to be affordable to the customer. So going with lead screws, bigger lead screws, more expense, that up the price. So the timing belts were the perfect choice for us.
Yeah, and for those of you viewers who are metric challenged, 8mm is about 5/16.
I'm one of those metric challenged. I just know it's an 8mm.
Yeah, well, I just calculated real quick. So I knew it was less than 3/8, but I wasn't sure exactly.
Yeah, I call that the French system. We've had a couple of people comment, Laney, that your audio is just a tad quiet. Maybe it's just you're speaking very quiet. I don't know.
Let's see if we can.
Yeah, I actually tried to. I saw that comment in the chat, and I tried to open up the control thing to turn him up a little bit, and I got that error again.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
It wouldn't let me open it.
Now?
So yeah.
Try it again.
Let's see if. How about now?
Oh, that's much better.
Testing,
yeah.
1, 2, 3.
That's much better.
All right. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Well, did y'all hear anything I said? Do I have to do it all over again?
Yeah, start from the top.
No, I
can hear you
introduction.
just fine.
All right. Sorry about that.
Just everything after when you said Mini Carver, and we're good.
Okay. We can do that again. Absolutely. Lead screws versus timing belts.
Well, Mark,
And-
you're going to have to ask Laney another question or something because I got to let my stupid dog out. He's over here.
Oh, I think
About-
he's
about to have a
anything
fit.
but stupid. But I think Jerry Brown had a question. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, hey Lenny, have you guys come up with any options for testing out a spindle on any of the digital wood carvers?
Oh, we have a liquid cool spindle option for both the Digital Wood Carver and the Mini Carver. The Digital Wood Carver, we have a 3 horsepower water cooled spindle. It can either be 220 or 110 as far as power. Now 220, you're going to have better drivers, and everything for the spindle. So 220 would be a better choice if you were going to go with a water cooled spindle. But we do have a 110 option as well. That is an upgrade for the Digital Wood Carver because the Digital Wood Carver comes standard with the Hitachi M12 VC 2.25 horsepower router. We do have a Bosch 1617 option and a Porter Cable 892, but for spindle goes, we have the spindle, and that option, it is a $675 upgrade.
Okay.
For the water cooled spindle. For the
ER11, ER11 collet or a 1/4 inch?
With the water cooled spindle, you can use 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, and 1/2 inch shank end mills.
Nice.
And there's also a 3/8 collet available, but we don't provide that one. You can order that. I don't know the number of the collets, what you were just throwing out there, but I just know 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, or 1/2 inch shank bits you can use with it. And that's with all of our CNCs. You can use any of the 3, size shank end mills with the machine, except for the Mini Carver. It is a 1/4 inch end mill, 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch. We do have a 1/4 to 1/8 inch reducer, but either one of those two. But unfortunately, with the Mini Carver, the 1/2 inch shank bits are not an option because of the Makita.
Okay.
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 And does
Yeah,
that
we were talking
water cooled
about the-
spindle also work with the 4th axis?
Absolutely. Yep, it pivots 90 degrees just like everything else. On our 4th axis, our 4th axis is mounted off on the Digital Wood Carver. It's mounted off to the side. And so, the router unit and the router head and plate, everything pivots 90 degrees to come off and carve that 4th axis. With the spindle and everything, it does the same thing. Yes, it is compatible with it.
Cool. Yeah, we were talking about routers and spindles and stuff last week, and I believe we were talking about the Makita that y'all use on a lot of your stuff is one of the quietest routers around.
Well, they claim, Makita claims to be the quietest router on the market. That was mine. If I had to compare the two, believe it or not, now I have Bosch and Makita in my shop, Bosch, but on my CNC is the Makita. And for me, the Bosch router seems quieter, but Makita, they claim to be the quietest router. And it is, but for some reason, I don't know if I'm just used to my Bosches because I have them in my router tables and things like that. I'm used to the sound. But for me, I can hear a different sound pitch difference between the two. But yeah, Makita is a very quiet spindle or router. Bosch is as well. But the spindle, the water cooled spindle, night and day difference. Yeah, it's a definite. Because you guys, and of course you're all CNC guys and woodworkers and all. It's because of the air, cooled versus water cooled for the noise, and makes a big difference, that turbine, that fan, and that router.
Yeah, huge difference. I mean, I experienced a water cooled router for the first time at Dave's house during the Atlanta show, and I couldn't believe how quiet that thing was. Him, Javi, and I were at 3 different sides of the machine and carrying on a conversation when he turned it on. So
Yeah, it's
Nice.
it's pretty quiet. It's a little louder when it's cutting wood, but it's
Yeah.
pretty quiet just running by itself. And also, Laney, that brings me to another question I had for you. I don't see any others up there just yet.
I've got a couple.
What kind of like when you're at a show doing demos and stuff, is there a particular brand of router bit that you like to use with the digital wood carvers, or do you have a favorite? Or
All right. Well, with Digital Wood Carver, we work with white side bits. We provide, every Digital Wood Carver gets a free 60-degree V-bit, white side V-bit, and 1/8-inch ball nose end mill. We have the white side 3-piece bit sets, 5-piece bit sets, and everything. So we work with them, and they make a great tool. I'm a big fan of white side, always have been. Now, the gentleman who we worked with, Chris Miller from Whiteside, he made the move over. He's working with Amana tools now, and I'm a big fan of Amana tools. My bit sets, other than my Whiteside bits, but my actual 2D 3D carving ZRN coated, zirconium nitrate coated bits are Amana tools, and they're solid. And if anyone's looking for, a source, toolstoday.com is a great source for any kind of router bit you could want. It's they primarily sell Amana, but Amana's my go-to. But my everyday, my end mills and upcut, downcut, my V-bits and all, they're white side. They're white side, the 1541 and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Whiteside, and I do have a few Amana. I bought some from I'm trying to think of the guy's last name. It's Dan. He was at the show. You probably know him, Laney.
I do, and
him and his wife worked the booth there at the show. I can't remember. It's Dan Saint something. I can't remember his last name. I apologize, Dan, if you're watching. But
sorry, Dan. No, yeah.
If I try to say it.
I'm at all the shows, and I don't know everybody's name at the shows. It's hard to meet and greet. You're always going.
Yeah.
But no, I'm with Amana. I bought the Amana bit set because of the ZRN coating. That one bit with that zirconium nitrate coating, I can cut in wood, acrylic, plastic, aluminum, copper, brass, corian, and so many different materials just with that one bit. I don't have to have an aluminum end mill, a plastic end mill, this or that. So that's why I like their ZRN coated bits because of the range of materials that I can work with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have to agree.
Okay, real quick, Laney, Jamie Page wants to know, he says Laney's screen is looking a little blue again. Does he want me to do another avatar picture for him?
No, absolutely not.
Oh.
Please don't. That I couldn't. I still haven't lived the one down from years ago. Jamie, great to see you again, buddy, or hear from you. I got to meet Jamie for the first time. He's from over across the pond. I got to meet him at the Atlanta show. Nice, nice chap.
Same here.
Good guy.
He's one of the good ones.
Absolutely.
Laney, are you doing the Klingspor show again in Hickory this year?
I absolutely am. Yes, I'll be in Klingspor. I think that is runs September 28th through the October 30th, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they've changed the date, but yes, I'll be there. And then actually next month I'll be in Asheville, North Carolina for any of you that are going to be in the North Carolina area. Come on over to Asheville to the Mother Earth News Fair show and come see me.
Yeah, I was thinking the Klingspor thing was October 27th and 28th.
Yeah, 27th.
Okay.
28th, yeah.
It probably is, and I could be wrong on my dates. But I know it's the 27th and 28th of one of those two.
Okay.
Sorry, Klingspor. Gosh, so bad about that. Names and dates. But yeah, if you guys, if you are in the North Carolina area and you want to see the Mini Carver in action, come on out to the Mother Earth Fair show. We're gonna have one there, and we'll be demonstrating it and stuff.
I love you, but that's 2.5 hours away. I don't love you that much.
I'll wait and see you at the Klingspor.
There you go. I like the Klingspor show. They're good people.
Yeah,
Hey,
that was my first time going last year, and I really enjoyed that show. That's a great show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we have a question from Jat at Hein Technology. He wants to know about how many amps the stepper motors need on the wood carvers.
All right, so the Digital Wood Carver is a 36 volt unit. So a 15 amp system, 110, 15 amps, should be sufficient enough, actually for both units. You know, and as far as if you're overseas, I don't know what that converts to, but you know, US. You know, the Mini Carver, we're using NEMA 23 motors. And for the Digital Wood Carver, NEMA 32, if I'm not mistaken. But the actual voltage requirements for the larger machine is 36 volts, and then the Mini is 24 volts. But 15 amp system should be sufficient. 15 amp circuit.
Okay. Well, Jack's in the business of making CNC controllers, so I think he was referring to the individual motors themselves. He likes to play around with creating his own steppers.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you, that would be, I would have to pass that question off over to Burl Tishner. He is the manufacturer and the maker. I am more the software and trainer side. So when it gets into the technical ins and outs of the components and controllers and stuff, that is not my wheelhouse. That's why I prefer a kind of a plug and play system, and because I don't know enough of the ins and outs on the CNC, and I should because I'm in this area now, this field. I should dive in, and I should spend like a week or so with Burl and do some, you know, tutoring. But I don't know all of the ins and outs. So I'm sorry, Jax, is that his name? Jat,
J-A-T.
J-A-T, Jat. I'm sorry that I'm not able to fully provide you with that information. But Burl Tishner, BT at digitalwoodcarver.com. Sure, he'd be happy to answer your question.
So what you're saying is you're just a pretty face.
I am the, you know, all of this for Digital Wood Carver.
I just put a link over in the chat to the Digital Wood Carver website, the page for the Mini Carver. There should be some specs there.
No, there are some. I don't know if they're all broken down, because I make the website, so I.
You made that website? Oh, okay.
I know Squarespace made the website. I am the guy who adds stuff and all that to it. Me and Burl. So if there's anything missing, it's my fault. You know, just send a email out to Burl or something. He'd be happy to answer. Seriously.
Okay.
Yeah. So on the let's see, was he asking about was Jed asking about the Mini Carver or just any of them in particular?
The Mini Carver in particular is what he asked about.
Okay. What size stepper motor? You said there's stepper motors on that, Laney?
Yeah, they're NEMA 23s, and that is a. Hold on, I have it right here. There's actually a.
Because I was thinking if it's a 24 volt thing, it's probably 3 amps. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. And let me grab the. Bear with me 1 second. I got it right here. A little note that I made to myself, and. I do not know what this stands for or means, but 283
inch pounds.
Inch pounds, ounce, inch pound, yeah, inch pound.
Ounce inch. Okay.
Ounce inch. Okay. NEMA 23. So I don't know what that. Again, I'm not the mechanical guy, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I do have limitations. I don't know everything.
That's a torque rating for the motor, kind of sort of like foot pounds. That's just inch ounces.
There you go.
So,
and that has nothing to do with voltage. So,
no. But it is good to know. But on a smaller unit like that, you don't need a huge amount, because you're not talking about hogging out 8-inch thick pieces of steel. So,
yeah, Lyle over there says about 3.2 amps. So.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
There you go, Lyle. I love your viewers, Dave. They got all the technical information. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're trying.
I got a smart bunch of folks that watch this show. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
And Grant Davis says, "Thank you very much, Laney, for the class on Saturday at the Atlanta Wood Show. It was time and money well spent. He learned a lot." So.
You're very welcome. I keep hitting my mute button so I don't blast you guys out. But thank you for attending the classes and at the show. So I'm glad you were able to get something out. And I'm always, for anyone, put myself out there. I'm available 24/7. Sales@digitalwoodcarver.com, or you can call me 352-404-3951 if you ever have any questions about CNC. I don't know everything as far I'm some design and stuff like that. I'm really strong in the Vectric software, Bobcat, some other things and all. But if you ever have questions and you need some help, and your company that you work with don't have the answers, I'm not saying I would have the answers, but I'm willing to help anybody. Yeah. Give me a call, shoot me an email.
Sweet. Okay, Jamie Page wants to know: do you still have a bed in your shop?
No. No, absolutely. I don't
Probably
have a little known fact. There's not a bed anywhere in my house.
Okay.
Seriously.
It's not a little known fact now.
Yeah, really.
Known fact. No, I haven't slept on a bed 15 years. I'm a couch sleeper, so I have a nice recliner that I sleep in, but my bedroom is my office. My other bedroom is a mother-in-law, not a mother. Well, she's not. She's my mother. I take care of my mom. She lives with me. So I'm a recliner kind of guy. I sleep on a recliner because I only sleep 5 hours a day, if that. So I don't need a bed. It's just another thing to have to make up in the morning.
Yeah, Brian over there, Summers Woodworking, says Laney doesn't sleep.
Yeah, I look at this. I'm getting wrinkled. Old.
It's because you don't sleep. Okay, Doug Green wants to know what type of linear rails are used on the Digital Wood Carver.
I have to put on my thinking glasses for that.
You didn't know there'd be a quiz, did you?
I'm telling you. Are you referring to the 3/4 inch stainless steel rails for the Y-axis and the 1 inch stainless steel for the X? Is that what you're?
Yeah, I believe that's.
I think that probably covers it. Yeah.
There you go. 3/4 inch for the Z and Y, 1 inch linear rails for the X-axis.
And they're stainless.
Stainless steel, yeah.
All right.
Solid.
Okay.
With self-lubricating bearings, those enclosed bearings.
Nice. Nice.
Where's Burl when I need them?
I'm officially out of questions. So come on, y'all.
We should have invited him to be on here with you, Laney, I guess.
Yeah, Burl.
I don't know if he's the Google Hangout type or not, but we should invite Burl.
Burl and I Google Hangout. He's available. He said he's available by text message. If I have any technical questions, I can. So I can just simply shoot him a text and he'll answer back.
Okay. Well, like I said, our panel's pretty much full up now. We could have sent him a link and he could have joined us. Next time I tell you what, next time we have you on, we'll invite Burl too, and he can.
Oh, that would be awesome, bro. Yeah. Burl's a great guy. Burl,
yeah, well, he can't be all bad because he's, I know he lives up there in Avon, right?
Avon, Indiana, yeah. But his engineering.
Yeah, see, that's right down the road from my old stomping grounds. So anybody from that area is okay by me.
Absolutely. His engineering background, I mean, just, not just digital wood carver related. I mean, just really when it comes to the construction and things. Like I said, he worked with Wood Miser, for many years, many years, 25. But up here, his brain is like, he's a wealth of knowledge for me, for sure. Evidently, not that much of a wealth of knowledge because I can't answer y'all's questions right away. But, when I ask the questions, it gives me the answer.
Okay, I got 3 of them real quick, or 4 of them real quick. Does the machine come fully assembled, and where are they made?
Okay, the machines are manufactured out of Avon, Indiana, in the USA, and yes, they are fully assembled. They come with a router. They're plug and play. The only thing that on the big machine, the Digital Wood Carver, the only thing you have to assemble is the stand. If you get the stand, that's about 20 nuts and bolts. Put the stand together, and the unit sits on top of the stand. But the Mini Carver is fully assembled. They come with their routers and the controller software. The Mini Carver comes with the Vectric V-Carve desktop software. You can upgrade if you want to Pro or Aspire. The bigger units, the Digital Wood Carver, you have your choice of desktop, Pro, or Aspire with your package. But both of them come with the controller software and fully assembled, ready to go.
Okay. Great. Let's see. Peter Pasuelo wants to know what cutting speed do you normally run at?
Me, I'm a conservative kind of guy. You know, we can run up to 230 inches a minute on the Digital Wood Carver, but I tend to, I'm on the lower end. Like all my end mills, no matter what size they are, I'm running between a range of between 45 and 75 inches a minute.
Okay.
I'm running a 20-inch a minute plunge on my end mills. On my V-bits, I like nice clean lines and everything, so I'm between 35 and 55 inches a minute on my V carving, 25-inch a minute plunge. Ball nose, they vary depending on, you know, what I'm doing, but I usually run them at 75 inches a minute. But I like, you know, I don't want to race, you know, and, you know, have to do a lot of cleanup afterwards. I like nice detail cuts and everything, so I run at, you know, lower RPM than most.
Yeah, speed and everything. You know, that a lot of people, that's one of the questions they'll ask is, you know, well, how fast will it go? You know, really important. It's not that big a deal. I'm like you, Laney. I run pretty conservative feed rates on my stuff too.
Yep. Same
Absolutely. Here. And Jim, I'm typing in the answer in the chat. Avon, Indiana is where Digital Wood Carver is located from.
Okay. While we're at it, Ronald Ledger wants to know if you have a picture of the new model, or do you have one there you can show off?
I don't have a model here. The Digital Wood Carvers have been so popular. Literally, as soon as we build them, they're already sold. They're out the door. So I don't have a model right now, but I do have an image that I can share. Let me.
Okay.
While you guys can come up with another question, I can continue talking as I'm pulling it up, so that way there's no dead air space.
Perfectly. Got one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the front page of the digitalwoodcarver.com website as well, but I can absolutely pull up a image.
Philip Barnes wants to know, the belts are direct drive or do they have a reduction unit?
The belts are direct drive. They have a they're a S-curve pulley, but yeah, there's no reduction.
Okay. Jim Bashir says he found it on Google Maps. It's right down the block from him, kind of, there in Avon, Indiana. So be careful of a guy named Poot. So inside joke. He's gonna love me for it. He'll come over and unscrew my front porch light again.
There you go.
We love you, Jim.
Let's see if I can pull that up.
Okay.
Bear with me, guys. All right. So what I'm going to do is, if I share this properly, back to Hangouts and share, screen share, maybe. If I click on, just like I did before, application window, of course, we'll see if that works. All right. Are you guys, I don't know what you're seeing.
Yeah, we're seeing the.
You see my, like my file explorer?
Yeah, it's the whole window.
Okay, wrong one. Hold on a second. Hold on there. Let's, how in the world would I share that?
I don't know.
Should be a button that says share all or something like that, I think.
Share all. Thank you very much. Okay. We'll do this and see if this pops up. Screen. Are you looking at a blank screen right now?
Yep.
Again, wonderful. We're successfully achieving this, Dave. You guys want to move on while I get this?
You just share full screen and it should show it.
Yep.
Share full screen. It should show it. Okay. We'll try that again.
Of course, it'll share everything you have on your screen, but.
No, that's fine. I just didn't want it to, like, you know how when you're sharing the Google screen, it does that little tunnel effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to screw things up. So we'll give it a quick try.
While Laney is
And tell me-
tracking that down, we did have a question from Matt Peel. Have any of you guys cut any carbon fiber on your CNC? And if so, what about bits, feeds, and speeds? Anybody cut carbon fiber? No? Sorry, Matt, I tried.
Carbon fiber is a pain to cut. Just so you know.
I haven't.
Okay.
All right, now I'm just screwing up. All right.
Welcome to
We'll
my
get it.
world.
Well, there's a picture on the website,
There is a picture on the website, guys.
Oh,
and the link is in the show description, so it should be easy to get to.
and I will
Absolutely.
put it in the chat right now.
Yep.
For sure.
There we go.
Yeah, because for some reason I have the image pulled up on my screen, full screen, but it's not letting it show the image. It's not letting it show the image. I don't know why. It's picking up all the other windows. Even when I do the entire screen, it's only picking up Mark a minute ago. So
Google has an
I
issue.
apologize.
Screen. Yeah.
DigitalWoodCarver.com, products, CNC, packages, check out or the Mini Carver, and you can blow it up to as big as you want.
There you go. There you go. I just posted it over there in the chat, and there is a link in the description below.
I could have just said that
Lyle
like an hour
says,
ago.
Lyle Foyt says carbon fiber, fast speeds, carbide bits, and a dust mask. Yes.
Yep.
Some nasty stuff.
Yeah, that's what I understand, although I've got no experience
That's
with
why I
it.
said it's a pain in the butt to cut. There's no way I'd cut any of it. If somebody asked me to, I'd tell them to go find somebody else.
That's good to know.
Any other questions for Mr. Shaughnessy here? Now's your chance, folks.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
How about wait times? Are the machines built and ready to go? Or?
They're the Digital Wood Carvers are built to order, and our lead time is normally 1 week, but we just coming off the tail end of the woodworking shows. Right now, we have a 2 to 3 week lead time on both the large units and the Mini Carvers. So we've, knock on wood, we averaged about 8 units per show. So
Nice.
It was a good year for us. But now after the shows, when people have had a chance to go home and talk with their spouses or just talk it over and noodle it over, they pick up the phone, they place the order. So we're filling those residual orders. But so right now it's about a 10 to 15 day lead time.
All right, the $1 million question. When are you going to start making videos?
I knew that was going to come up.
Laney and I had a chat when it was just me and him when I started to hang out, and I asked him, I said, is there any questions that are off, off limits? And he said, no, bring them on. So there you go, Laney.
Absolutely. No, to be honest, as a matter of fact, Dave, the last time I was on your show, that was one of the questions that came up, and I said that, I'm coming back and all, but it was Friday. We were just getting ready to start the new season for the woodworking shows. I am making videos. Most of my videos right now are CNC related. Most of them I'm making for the new Simple Design CAD CAM training school that I'm about to launch online. But as far as woodworking videos, I do have a cabinet build series. My shop, my 18 by or 12, that stage 18, 12 by 24 shop. I need space. I need cabinet space and everything. So I'm revamping the whole thing, reorganizing the whole thing from front to back. And I'm about to film that series, just showing some ways to build different storage options and things for smaller shops. And that's going to be kind of a video series. And then hopefully that'll get my feet back wet again, for doing something, talking to a camera all day long again.
Well,
and then,
I can tell you, Laney, you've been one that I've been subscribed to for a long time. And I'm not just sucking up here,
No.
But I've been subscribed to you a long time. And I have to say, and I'm sure I'm not the only one thinking it, I have missed you not doing the YouTube videos.
I miss it too. you're not alone, Dave. Even me personally, I want to come back. You know, I feel that I owe it to my subscribers, loyal subscribers that are staying with me. They're still staying subscribed to my channel, hoping or wanting, you know, thinking that, hey, we might see something from Laney one day again, and you will. But so I owe it to them to come back and make videos. I want to be able to use this time to when I'm not at shows and stuff to make those videos. And because I'm carving most of the days, we talked about it just a minute ago, me and Mike, you know, we mentioned, you know, thinking about starting a second channel for CNC related stuff, because I want to keep my woodworking channel a woodworking channel. And but there will be videos this year, guys. I don't know how frequent they're going to be, but there's going to be more than one. I only got 1 or 2 out last year. It was terrible.
Okay, this is a really loaded question. Since you said that, are you saying doing CNC work is not woodworking?
No, absolutely not. CNC work is absolutely woodworking, but of my 94,000 you know, many of them subscribed to me for the you know, the woodworking videos I did. It was before I had a CNC. You know, when I got my CNC, I made one CNC video, and the comments that I received, you know, were, Laney, you might as well sell your tools. You can't call yourself a woodworker anymore, and blah, blah, blah. And that attitude has changed. Now, it's been a whole year or 2 years since then, 3 years.
3 years.
And now CNC is becoming more and more acceptable in the shop and everything. People are realizing that technology is changing and stuff. CNC is absolutely woodworking. I spend more time, you know, designing, you know, cutting my boards down, you know, getting them flat, you know, sanding them and things, milling them, you know, face planing them all. But my CNC is like another tool. It's like my, you know, nail gun. It's like my, you know, air sprayer. You know, it's a tool. It's like my bandsaw. So yes, it is very much woodworking, but I want to keep, I want a division for myself, because I do have loyal subscribers that just want my woodworking, how to build, you know, how to build a jewelry box or a filing cabinet or whatever, you know, versus how to design and carve this or design and carve that. There's 2 separate things, and I want to stay true as much as I can with my main channel and not overwhelm it with CNC videos, because I have you know, a lot of CNC videos I could do. I could literally post a video a day.
I put you on the spot at Klingspor last year in front of your crowd about your YouTube videos. So are we going to have one before Klingspor this year, or do I have to do it again?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I was just filming yesterday, and I literally pulled everything out of the shop. My shop is a complete chaos right now. I literally threw wood out in the yard. I mean, I had everything out there because I'm trying to put it all back in some type of organized space, and I'm getting ready to start building the cabinets. So I'm thinking about tearing down my most popular build was my table saw base videos, and I'm about to tear that apart and make a smaller base for it. So there's a lot of things that I'm about to be filming and everything.
It would actually be good to video you taking that apart, where it was one of your biggest videos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've watched that one, you know, probably a dozen times myself.
Right. Yeah. And my mistake was I overshot my space. That was 6 foot long base. Great. It works out great and everything. I still love it to death. But I've taken the outfeed table off of it. As a matter of fact, the outfeed table is sitting right outside my door here. I'm about to turn it into a little folding table in my office for like a little work surface. There's only 12 foot. So, you know, when the 6 foot, you know, of my table saw is running across my my shop, then I have my router table right across from it. There's a little path for me to walk through, and I'm running out of room. So I need to kind of narrow things down a bit. And so I want to build a new base, a little bit more compact, and kind of focus on optimizing my space for what I have, because my goal is to turn my carport into a building, but I'm not financially able to do that right now. So I need to work with what I've got. So
I was much the same situation, and I just broke down and had a second shed delivered. So,
Hey, I just,
It works.
for people that are looking at shops and everything, my metal building, it was kind of one of those rent to own type, lots go to, and you can pay it in full or you can pay rental payment. I did, because I'm not, I wasn't financially able to go out and buy a shop or build a shop or anything. I did the kind of rent to own plan. I just paid it off 2 days ago. So, so now I can start tearing
my shop. Laney, what's your preferred wood of choice for demos?
My preferred material of choice for demos is MDF. MDF carves so nicely for me. It paints well and everything. But if I'm not using MDF, then when I'm demoing, I'll use melamine shelf boards because of the contrasting colors, like with the V carves, you can see that. And from there, just select pine. But my preferred is MDF. MDF carves beautiful. And it paints, with MDF, like if most people know this, but heck, if you even went to Walmart and you bought dollar spray paint, you take a piece of MDF, you can mill the sides, whatever, have a nice little piece here. That first coat, a little fuzzy, when it goes on, you knock down that fuzz and sand it. And even with that dollar spray paint, the second and third coat, like glass. I mean, it really makes a pretty piece. Just a rattle can spray paints and everything. So I like it. So that's when I'm demoing, I use MDF.
Not too messy. I guess you got a good vacuum system, I'd imagine.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we have a shop vac. I mean, it's a shop vac that comes with every one of our units. It comes with a vacuum system, and no, there's no dust issues with that.
Sweet. Okay, I don't have any other questions. I have a couple of general questions, and that's about it. But
okay. Well, I guess we're almost at the top of the hour, so go ahead and.
Okay. Well, the first one's for you, Dave, from Jeff Robinson. Are you bringing Rocky to the Texas Meetup?
I tell you, Jeff, I would love to bring Rocky, and Rocky would love to go. He loves to ride. He goes with me everywhere I go around here. If you can hear him, he's wanting back in now. But unfortunately, the Marriott where I'm staying does not allow pets, so. And he's pushing 80 pounds, so it's not like I'm going to be able to sneak him in my bag or something.
Even like therapy animals,
He'd never be able to pull that off because therapy animals are usually really calm and.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Not him. Yeah.
So will he get to go vacation at Melinda's?
No, actually. I got to take him to where my vet is. They board him up there. And can you guys hear him? He's barking at the door. Barking at the door right now.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I'd love to take him. And if there was any way I could find a place where they accept pets, and it was near the barbecue place where we're going to have that meetup, I would take him. But he's not going to be able to go this time. He won't be very happy about it either. I can tell you that for sure. He goes everywhere I go.
Yeah, especially if you're going to go have barbecue.
Yeah. In fact, he was pretty excited when I came home from Jim's because they sent me home a bunch of that prime rib.
Oh boy!
And I pinched him off a little piece of that, so he was. He didn't get to go with me to Jim's house, so he was mad about that. But he made up for it real quick when I pulled out that prime rib. So.
He definitely enjoyed pizza night at your house.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you guys really spoiled him that night.
True story.
Okay, now last question I have here is from Vicky Branham, and she wants to know, this is just open for everybody. Can someone suggest a YouTube video, to help her build the table for the CNC to sit on? Anybody have a good design? And I know Jerry Brown over here at Polly Wants a Crafter, his video is very nice.
Doesn't Merksky have one too, Mike?
I didn't do a video of building my table.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say Jerry's video is probably the best one for to watch for that. And Vicky, it doesn't have to be anything really fancy. you know, just make it sturdy. I always like to build my stuff on casters. That's, you know, kind of a personal preference depending on where you're going to put it. But yeah, doesn't take much.
Basically, any kind of a stand that you would trust as a work table or a workbench would be good enough.
Yeah, and like everyone's saying, Jerry's video would be, you know, ideal for her to watch. And if you're looking for just kind of a basic stand, you know, kind of frame and everything, the router table video series that I built, the two part 1 and part 2, showing how to build the stand out of 2x4s, and then MDF with melamine coated top. Take that concept and just make it big enough to fit your unit for a basic, you know, 2x4 standard. But that's just a basic bare bones. It's not anything special.
You know, I got to tell you, it's easy to overbuild a table. I overbuilt mine just on the shoestring budget plywood CNC that I built a couple years back. I really thought I was going to have to get draconian on this thing and really build something to withstand the weight of a semi truck. You know, using 4x4s for legs, and I got 6 legs on the ding dong thing. I can't move it without a floor jack, and it doesn't need to be that strong. It doesn't need to be that over engineered. Basically, if you can use it for a work table, you can put a CNC on it.
Yeah, Kenneth Joaquin, I hope I'm saying his name right. He says in the chat there, he says, we have a few ideas for rolling tables in the forum.
Okay.
So Vicki, I don't know if you joined our forum or not, but a lot of good information over there. People showing pictures of their, not just their machine builds, but the tables and all that. So
I'm right there with you, Mark. I built 2 assembly tables in here just for putting small projects together, and turns out they will hold a V8 diesel engine.
Yeah, Vicki, Jerry's information at his YouTube is Polly Wants a Crafter.
I did the same thing when I built the enclosure for my machine. It's, I mean, that thing total, including the machine, weighs 1,000 pounds, which is nice because it's on some heavy duty casters. And when it's going back and forth real quickly, I mean, especially if you have like a spindle, all that weight jostling back and forth is gonna, on casters, you need something to offset it. But if it's not on casters, I don't see any reason why it has to be overbuilt.
Well, I overbuilt it because I can.
That's the best reason.
Vicki says her problem is she's a perfectionist and OCD. You need to go check Mike Mertzke's channel.
There you go, Mike Mertzke.
Yep. It's very easy to overdo it. I guess I'm an example of that. But you know, like they said earlier, really all you need is a stable, level, flat surface.
Yeah.
Mine's on casters, like everything else in my shop. I tried to maximize dust collection and some storage, you know, that the CNC sits on. But you could build a basic frame just to get you going and get that CNC going, and then kind of build out underneath as you go.
Yeah, and I would recommend, you know, like I said, I like to make everything on casters, but get like 2 rigid casters and 2 swivel, and make sure the swivels have locks on them.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Or yeah, at least 2 of the casters have locks on them.
Okay, the only other thing that we have had a request for is non-CNC related. We've got a couple people asking Jerry if they could see the lathe he's working on.
Right there it is. Not much to see here.
Yeah, it's a Ford lathe, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all keep saying that. You know what? When we do Klingsport, we're going to have to do a meetup here just so all you colorblind people can kind of see what color blue it is.
I'm only yanking your chain, Jerry.
And I'm a Ford guy. I'm a Ford guy, but my Ford takes that as an insult.
Why'd you paint it baby blue then?
Huh?
Why'd you paint it baby blue then?
Oh man, no
Because I
respect.
like baby blue. Have you seen the color of my eyes? I know you've stared in them for hours at Atlanta.
Yeah, and they're red.
There goes to the neighborhood.
Yeah. Well,
They
I
were
guess
only red when we went into Javier mode at Dave's house and kept us there for 5 hours. There it is, Javier. I couldn't get by without it, buddy.
No respect. There you go. Love you, Jerry.
Heck, all I say is go get your 150-year-old lathe. We'll compare, you know?
There you go. 151.
151? Well, heck, I don't measure up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess if we're all out of questions over there in the chat,
Yep,
we'll,
I think we
we'll
are.
wrap this one up. I want to thank everybody. We've had well over 100 people watching here at different points. So it just shows you Laney's a popular fella here.
Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, guys.
So thanks. Yeah, I don't know how many thumbs up we got here.
Well, we could do a little better. We got
There's probably
61,
room.
but you know.
there's still room for some more, and we got our thumbs down.
Yeah, we did get our thumbs down.
I know I'm doing something right if I got the thumbs down. So
Hey, Dave.
yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Thanks everybody on my panel for hopping in here and hanging out with us tonight. And Laney, especially thank you. Always good to see you, my friend.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you for having me. This, like I said, the invite was much appreciated. And do we have 2 seconds that I can throw out a small plug?
Oh, sure.
You can do a shameless plug. We all do it.
Sure. Not necessarily a shameless plug. I just want to let people know. You know, we were talking mostly focused. We do have the Mini Carver. That was our new product for this year. But one of the things that a lot of people don't know about us is that we do have larger units available as well, 4x4 and 4x8 units as well. And we also have laser units, 50, 60, and 90 watt lasers. Now those units, the 4x4, the 4x6, and the lasers, we do not manufacture. They do use our controls. But if anyone's looking for bigger units, definitely please, reach out to me. I would love to work with y'all.
Are the bigger ones on your website, Laney?
No, as a matter of fact, they're going to be on the website this week. I'm actually putting them up, but I'll give you a brief rundown. Excuse me. Both tables have T-slot and vacuum tables. They don't come with the vacuum pump, but they are vacuum table ready to go. You just need a vacuum pump. 3.2 kilowatt water cooled spindles and someone was asking me this earlier, but ER20 Chuck call it, whoever was asking me that earlier, up to 0 to 2400 speeds. You got XYZ limit switch. You've got E-stop and Z height probes. Both the X and Y axis are rack and pinion, and the Z axis is a 20-meter linear rail with a 25-millimeter ball screw. But that just in the machines, they're built like tanks. We just don't manufacture because we don't manufacture the big units, but they do use our controls and our CNC USB controller and everything, our controllers and drivers.
Okay, cool. I'll keep checking the website then, Louis.
Yes, I'll have them. Today is Saturday, right? Those will be up on the website no later than Wednesday afternoon, probably lunchtime.
Sweet. So they're that new. They're not even up there yet. All right.
No, they're not up there, and they're we've just during this year we just started selling them, and as far as the bigger machines, and so far I've I think we've sold 3 of our 4x8 units. They're tanks. They're nice. They're big monsters.
Yeah.
So if anyone's looking for bigger units. No. Unfortunately, we won't have any one of those at Klingsport. We're only at the shows. We'll have just our digital wood carver and our mini and things. The bigger units. You never know. It's all a what's the logistic, the transport? We only have a cargo van, so it won't.
On that note right there, Laney, are they going to put you in a better spot this year instead of in the middle of an aisleway like they did last year?
The Klingspor?
Yeah.
They're going to put me wherever they put me. They normally put me at an end cap. I'm like an end cap. Now, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they put me in the middle of an aisle in a smaller space?
Middle of a busy, small, narrow aisleway.
Normally they put me at an end cap, so I have a little bit wider space, but they didn't last year, and I'm not sure why. They just didn't have that much space for the venue. I'm not sure, but hopefully they will. I don't get to pick, so.
I'm hoping they do it a little bit better this year. I mean, last year they had that whole right side was spread way out, and that whole left side was kind of like jammed together.
Yeah, and the year before that, I had the end cap was nice. It was spread out. There was room to move and talk and bump elbows. It was great.
It'd be nice to see you be set up like you were in Atlanta, where you actually had some space for people to get around.
That was a nice era. That was a nice era.
I love our woodworking show area. The woodworking show is nice to us because of the seminars and the teaching. All they give us, room to, so our people are, the attendees of the classes can sit down and be comfortable. I like that spread out space. All right, that's all, Dave. Thank you for letting me take that moment of your time.
Absolutely. We can't sign off now. Your mom just popped up in the chat. Hey, Mary Beth. First time I've stayed over there all night.
It's the first time she said anything.
I figured when we invited Laney on the show, we get a kind of a 2-for-1 deal. We get Laney on the panel and Mary Beth in the chat. But she's been kind of quiet.
She is very much involved with everything that I do. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to pull her into the office a little bit more. She needs something to do, so trying to get her a little active in the background, answering calls and stuff. Because
get her out there demonstrating. Get her out there demonstrating. Show people how to turn a baseball bat.
Yeah. By the way, Dave and Mark and actually all of you guys, Mom loves all of you just the same. She does. She is big fans of all of you. And it about tickled Mark when you put hashtag dear son. It just tickled her to death. She got the biggest kick out of that. But no, so thank you for it's nice. I thank you guys for really. She's a great woman and one of my biggest inspirations. And but she's she's one of my biggest advocates too. She's like she's there. As you can tell, I can't even have my own 15 minutes of fame without Mom looking over my shoulder.
Now she gave you a whole hour, Laney. I'm gonna stand up there. She gave you a whole hour.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that amazing woman, we wouldn't have you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I guess we're gonna sign off here. We're about 15 after. Like I said, appreciate. Oh, we got a bunch more thumbs up now. Awesome, guys. Thank you.
I think that was for Mary Beth.
Yeah, it probably was. That's okay. I'll take them any way we can get them here.
That's it.
Appreciate everybody watching. Laney, thanks again. Thanks everybody on the panel. It was a great weekend. We'll see y'all.
Don't forget to come over and visit us on the community forum.
I was going to say see y'all next week, but like I said, remember next week is the Texas Meetup.
That's right.
Out at Fort Worth. May or may not do a show depending on the internet situation out there, but I will definitely get some Facebook Lives in.
Well, if we could get Mark to shave his mustache, he could just pretend to be you next week.
You ain't got enough money to make me shave this mustache.
Yeah. All right. That's it. We'll see y'all next week or the week after, whenever.
Have a great
weekend.
Have a good night. Hit that thumbs up button on the way out the door.
Later, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.